First, I am so sorry that you have had to go through this, and it's completely understandable that you would be scared to go on a medication. Something that I've been following is the research that's starting to emerge about how GLP-1s can affect, for example, something like breast cancer recurrence. So, if you guys don't follow Dr. Cleo Riles, she's a Harvard trained researcher, and she just talked about recently on her channel how she presented at the largest breast cancer conference here recently. In her study, it was observational, okay, so it was not randomized and controlled, but they looked at almost 1 million patients that had had breast cancer, and they looked at recurrence. They measured something called circulating tumor DNA, which is ctDNA, and she described it again, like, go watch her video, it was really great. She describes it as like you come in a house, you smell cookies, but you don't see the cookies, so basically it's a signal that there could be cancer present even though you're not seeing it on the image. What they found is that when there was evidence that a woman was taking a GLP-1, the chance of there being ctDNA was less. Okay, so those people had less of a chance of recurrence, meaning survival goes up. This is not related to the thyroid cancer that you're talking about here, but it's not unreasonable to think that things like that we're seeing that signal in the breast cancer area, that's just something that is affecting 1 out of 8 women. It is so common that that's why there's a lot of research behind that. But what I typically see, I actually have several patients that have had a papillary or other types of thyroid cancer in the past. And one thing that we know is that long-term, the weight set point staying up, that's a risk factor for 13 different types of cancer, one of them being thyroid cancer. The reason that it's really helpful to go to a physician and to talk through this very comprehensively, it's because you really need to figure out, is this something that will actually help me in the future? We might not have all the answers right now, but if you go to someone that's on top of all this type of research, they can say, well, here's what we see here and here's what we see there. And they can tell you, okay, these 13 types of cancer, you're at a higher likelihood of getting them if we don't get the weight set point down. You get to start to understand all of this, and then you get to decide, do I want to do this, or are there other avenues that I can take? Just know that GLP-1s are not the only option, right? There are tons of treatment things, but I just wanted to talk you through this one scenario that I'm seeing, and it's increasingly amazing to me, a lot of the research that's coming out. When you hear things like that with the breast cancer study, that's really encouraging to me.